Rupert Kemeys, the big guy. Rupert Kemeys. Rupee. Is that what your mum called?
Sure.
Rupert the beer. Roops. Welcome to episode 6.
7. Righto.
Of the Friday Shout. What are we drinking today, partner?
Average intro.
Happy to do it again? No. Producer says no, so...
No, it's just, yeah.
I thought it was actually quite good. What are we drinking today, partner?
We got Baylands Petone Pale Ale.
Look, I want to give a...
Good little map on there. It's got where they are.
We've had a lot of beers.
Could put a little star where we are.
Not to start the show. We've had a lot of beers on the show, is how I would start.
Yep.
And different branding for all of those beers, but this is something special. That's the Petone map.
Yep.
And we're broadcasting live from, well, not live, but we're live.
Yep.
From Bolton Street. Right there.
Petone.
In Petone. Gorgeous. Thanks to Baylands.
Oh.
Really...
Great drop.
What are we drinking? The Pale Ale as well.
Pale Ale, yeah.
Getting into the beer. How you been? How you going?
I've been great.
Yeah.
Yourself?
You look thin.
Thanks.
Have you been working out?
No.
That's the big question.
Yeah,
No?
a little bit, yeah.
Little bit?
Yep.
Little bit.
Yep.
Cut down on this. Little bit of workout.
Yeah.
Setting goals.
Yep.
Talking about goals. Hey, episode 7. We're coming in hot. First episode, which
Yep.
Matt Lamb,
Yep.
one of our big fans, was telling me earlier tonight before we shot the show. He said, what I loved about those first couple of episodes is you're giving real good sound advice to those that need it.
Yeah.
We were talking about, you might remember, buying a house.
Yeah.
And then we obviously started talking and we thought, well, have we ticked off all those boxes though? Because there's a lot of different variables when it comes to talking about
Buying a house. Yeah.
It's like we're just in tune sometimes.
Yeah.
So I thought today, over a beautiful Baylands Petone Pale Ale,
Yeah.
we'd talk about
Topic for us, dear.
some topical topics.
Yeah.
And that topical topic is, let's go a little bit deeper in terms of, I'll tell you what, I'll throw a scenario at you.
Okay.
Little scenario, because I always like being Chip the something or other.
The scenario maker.
The scenario maker.
Yep.
Fantastic. So look, I'm Chip the buyer. Let's not talk about too much about first time home buying or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm Chip the buyer, and I've decided that, in the wake of not having a government, now's a good time to buy a house.
Yeah.
And so I've said to myself, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to buy a house. So the first thing I do is I go into the paper, or I go on to my one of many property searching apps.
Yeah.
And I start scrolling through it, and I find something that I like.
Yep.
But I get a little bit confused, Rupert.
Yep.
I get a little bit confused because I don't really know the difference between a tender, deadline marketing, an auction maybe.
So you want to talk about kind of methods?
Yeah, well, maybe just a little bit of if we could highlight maybe those differences for those that are out there, because one of the things that I do get as Chip the agent in the marketplace a lot is well, what's a deadline marketing sale? And
I suppose when you...
what's a negotiation mean?
Yeah, when you kind of find that how... Oh, yeah, because there's a few different things, and there's tender.
Yep.
So basically, we won't run through it too much in depth.
No.
I thought it'd be quite good just to have a chat, if you don't mind, today, just about the kind of process of, say, if you do find a house, and then from buying that house. So you want to buy the house, how do you actually go about doing it from you found it?
Yep.
So we talked about previously the whole process, but now let's talk about the final third, about you've found it and then what to do until you actually get that property under offer, or it goes unconditional and it's sold.
For sure.
A little bit there. So I suppose, what kind of marketing method is it?
Exactly.
So you got like a tender.
Yeah.
So basically what a tender is everyone competes on the same date. Okay, so you might have a date. So when the property goes on the market, normally it's 3 to 4 weeks.
Yep.
Until the date.
Yep.
And then you put your offer in.
Yeah.
So all the offers go in, you give them to the agent, you drop them in, normally in a bloody little letterbox.
Nice
put
little
them in,
letterbox. Yep.
and then all the offers are together, take them to the owner, and then you open them, or the agent opens them in front of the owner.
Quick question, just to come at you. Coming in quick.
Coming hot there.
What I wanted to say was, I get a question a lot is, can the vendor accept an offer in a tender campaign before the tender close?
Sorry, run that past me again.
So say, for example, there's a tender date, and we'll call it the 20th of December, and an
Oh,
offer comes in the first week.
week.
Can the vendor take that offer in the first week?
It's just a word in advertising. You've got closed tender and then open tender. Same as a deadline sale. So you've got an open tender, pretty much the same as a deadline sale. So they can, if it's an open tender, they can take offers prior.
Yeah.
Closed tender, they can't. So it's just in the advertising.
So that'll come down. So check your advertising, because if it says tender in the big box above your advertisement, go down the bottom and see if there's an actual date on that. Because correct me if I'm wrong, if there's a date on that tender, the vendor cannot accept an offer beforehand.
A date on the tender.
Yeah, like a tender closing.
Closed date, yeah. So the thing to look at, because both open and closed tenders will have dates, you just got to close tender or open tender.
Yeah.
And then you got for sale by negotiation or by negotiation, or price on application is another one. That's
PLA, the old PLA.
But basically what that means is you can buy the house, but you just need to put an offer in at any stage.
Okay.
There's no guide price. Sometimes there's a guide price with it, but majority of the time there's not. There's no date, there's nothing. And then you've got fixed price. Obviously, my house is worth $489,000. I put the price on it. You can pay that, you can pay less, you can pay more.
Yep.
Buyer inquiry over.
BEO.
Yeah, so you got buyer inquiry over $489. We're looking for offers above $489.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then you got auction.
You mentioned one before though, and I just want to come back to this one because I think this is one that, and we're obviously trying to help as many people as we can in the buying pool at the moment, and that was deadline sale. Now, deadline sale is one that is repeatedly used quite a bit at the moment. Not to talk too much about the market side of that, but what's a deadline sale? Does it, like, I know before you said there's an open tender and a closed tender.
Deadline sale is just an open tender.
It's just an open tender.
Pretty much roundabout. Yeah. So you can put an offer prior and you can negotiate with the owner.
Yeah.
Okay. Every real estate agency, we have different rules about, we'll call it inter-policies, about what they can and cannot do around those offers.
The politics of real estate.
But you can put them in prior, and then if there's no acceptable offers before, then everyone will compete on that same day.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, same.
Because it is a little bit confusing in the marketplace, and it's one of those things that you want to know.
If you're bid with us, all you got to really mean is you got your price property, your negotiation, your tender, and then you got your auction.
Yeah.
So auction's very simple. You just turn up on the day.
Yeah.
You'll be given an auction agreement.
Yeah.
That you should check and have a look through, but we won't go into the logistics of the legal side of it.
Yeah.
And basically, you stick your hand up for whatever you want to pay.
Yeah.
So it starts at 200, you go 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, whatever you want to pay for it.
Yeah.
And basically, we're not going to go through the process of an auction.
No, not in this
but you
episode.
get to a certain point and you buy it unconditionally under the hammer. The thing to remember with auctions, though, is there's no conditions, so you can't have a building report, finance, all the previous ones we talked about.
Yep.
You can, so you can put your conditions in there.
Yeah.
If you buy at auction and you're successful, you've bought it. You can't. There's no way out.
Go get your checkbook because you're going to be writing a deposit today.
10% straight away.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so those are the.
But I mean, and looking at that, okay, so a nice way to break it down is that auction, as a buyer, transparency. Because in the room you can see, hey, what Rupert's got in terms of the price, what Chip's got in terms of price, and you make your own decision from there. Tender and these deadline marketing sales are a little bit different because obviously you can't see what the other offer is.
Yeah.
So from a negotiating point of view, because we are going to talk about negotiation today as well, which I'm very, very excited about. You can probably tell by my voice. But one of those things is, hey, just to give everyone a little bit of a difference, because a lot of people that I come into contact with in the real estate industry, buyers, for example, they get a little bit fearful of auction, and they don't really understand tender, deadline sale.
No. So I'm glad we went over that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There we go. Good summary. So what I want to talk to you about today is I want to talk about negotiation, because let's say, for example, I painted that scenario before that I'm looking for a property.
So you're Chip, the first-time buyer, first-time investor.
I'm Chip the buyer.
Yeah, so
Chip
we'll
the buyer. Well, I mean, we've done Chip the first-time home buyer, and he actually did quite well for himself. We did Chip the first-time investor.
Yeah.
Mate, cranking along with 13 properties on that portfolio. That guy is good to go.
Nice.
So why don't we say I'm Chip, the second-time home buyer. I'm looking to buy my family home. And I found one, and it's a negotiation campaign. FSBN, for sale by negotiation. And I've gone on my iPad. I found the property. I've contacted the agent. I've
like the house.
Love the house. The house is beautiful.
Yeah.
My gosh, I tell you what. Well, I mean, the wife likes it.
Missus does it.
The missus likes it.
Yeah.
I
don't call them missus. You just called.
Hey?
You just called Candy missus.
The missus. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Well, she knows it. I'm the mister. She's the missus.
Wow. She's going to see this.
Yeah, that's fine. She doesn't actually watch the show. So. Love you, babes. So I found the house. She found the house. We found the house. And look, it's a very, very nice house. And I've contacted the agent. I've gone through. I'm getting into that offer situation. What's the first thing I need to know about for sale by negotiation?
So we know that by negotiation is you can put your offer in.
Yep. At any time.
Any level you want.
Yep.
At any time.
Yeah, for sure. So if I came through Sunday, first open home, been looking for a while, I could do it. I'm not working towards a deadline, is obviously what you're saying.
Yeah. So say the house is worth 400.
Nice round figure.
Worth 400.
Bloody good figure.
What do you do?
400. What do you do?
What do you feel like doing? You like the house.
Well, I mean, and
what do let's
say I've... Well, no, go.
I was just going to say a lot of people don't know what to do. They like the house. what's the next process?
Well, that's a great question.
We're just really getting into more detail about like going through exactly.
And that's right.
And hey, if anyone's listening to this and say, I know how to do this, there's got to be people out there that don't. So we're going
for sure.
Absolutely.
But I think it's also important as well to remember that, it doesn't matter if you're buying your first house, your fifth house, your 10th house. These are the variables and the different things that you're going to come up against. So the question that you asked me is, it's set at 400, what would you do? Let's say conservatively, I would have gone and talked to Dad. Dad would have said, hey, when it comes to negotiation, mate, what you need to do is you need to remember that if it's worth around 400, if that's what the agent's saying to you, you're going to come in at a lower offer. And that's correct. So you're going to come in, I don't know, let's say I come in at 360, maybe 370.
What a dick.
I know. Well, see, this is what I'm saying. So what's the best thing that I can do to guarantee that if I like that house, I'm going to be able to negotiate in a nice positive position?
No, I suppose the first thing you need to do is ring the agent and say you want to make an offer. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about this in episode 1, I think it was.
Well, it's episode 7
buying
now.
A home, I think.
Yeah, it's around there. Episode 1 and 2.
So, you've decided to make an offer. You've got to look at your clauses that you want to... Because the first thing the agent's going to say is, when do you want to meet up? Because they're going to be keen to sell the house because they get commission, obviously. Yeah. You've got to recognise that the agent works for the owner.
Yes. Okay. That's an important thing to know.
And they work for their commission as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So... you want to do your due diligence, so you can either go two ways about it. You can put in your offer, let's not talk about pricing just yet, but you can put in your offer with conditions.
Yeah.
So like we talked about, your building report, your limb report, your finance,
we've covered that
kind of stuff. Or what you can do, because I don't know about you, Chip, but myself, I like to get properties at a good price.
For sure.
Everyone does. When I buy
good value. You're looking for good value.
Hey, I'm a human nature.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't just expect people just to give their properties away. Put your offer in... with your limb report, like we talked about earlier in the season,
with those conditions,
report, your conditions, right? But it's quite important though if you're trying to get that sharp price. I don't know about Chip, but I like a sharp price sometimes.
A cleaner. Oh, sorry, a sharp price.
Yeah, you're gonna get a sharp price. You get a good, clean offer. So you already jumped the gun, mate.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, no. I like the sharp price analogy though.
Yeah. Okay. So it's really important to get a clean offer.
Yeah.
And by clean offer, I mean no conditions.
Okay.
But we don't want to kind of contradict ourselves from the early episodes while giving people advice around conditions.
Yeah.
Very important to go through your due diligence.
Yeah.
But if you can, you got a mate who's a builder.
Yeah.
A qualified builder you trust.
Yeah.
To go through the property prior to you making your offer, you can maybe get rid of your building inspection.
For sure.
Maybe if you've got a lawyer that will do a title search for free or close to it, maybe do your title search.
For sure.
Maybe you've already got your pre-approval for the property.
Yeah.
Email them off the address, make sure that's okay. That's
talk to your bank, talk to your broker, mate. Hey, can I make this offer without a finance clause?
And then maybe go down, because you can just pop down the council as well.
Yeah.
And maybe you just wanted to check if all the compliance stuff, the consents are done, all that.
So when you say you can pop down the council, you mean you can go down to the council and do a record search?
Yeah, there's a nice little property section there. You can pop down there, grab that stuff.
Yeah.
Have a look through it. So you can do that kind of stuff. But you might not be in a position to do that because you might need a valuation for your finance. Yeah. Depending on your conditions. But try to get those conditions down as much as possible.
Yeah.
To
be more competitive in this negotiation process.
Well, I mean, I could be competing against you.
Yeah,
I've got 4 conditions.
Yes.
You've listened to the Friday Shout. You've got 1.
Always.
You've got 1. We've got the same price. You've got a 1, aren't you?
Because I've obviously got less risk involved for the vendor as well. Yeah.
And then the next thing to think about is a settlement date. So, you pay your deposit, you go unconditional, so you've satisfied all your conditions if you have any or not. Just no conditions. And then you pay your deposit and then settlement date.
Yeah.
That's when you
give
the rest of the money across.
Yeah.
Great thing to do is ask the agent. We'll just make the scenario so that the agent's involved, not a private seller.
Okay, fantastic.
So you've got your agent there. You want to ask them, when does the owner want to settle?
Yeah.
Because it might be a rental.
Okay,
and they might need to give their tenant notice.
For sure. You might be a tenant and you might need to give your landlord notice as well.
Yeah. But in terms of... But that's stupid what you said there, Chip, because it doesn't matter what you're doing. To make... No, just jokes.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. But obviously you've got to bring into account your personal
that's good.
I didn't mean to say you're stupid.
No, I appreciate that.
But in terms of making your offer better and get the house cheap, I don't think they're going to care what your circumstances are. But you've got to find out what the owner's circumstances are because, hey, they might be moving to Auckland in 3 months.
But to just reiterate just on the point that you really shut it down on.
Yeah.
If you are a tenant and looking to buy a house, make sure you do talk to your landlord first.
Yeah.
Part of your due diligence program could be talking to that.
I'm sure the viewers don't think
it might be a good point, if you're a renter, I'm just saying, if you're a renter, do due diligence, make sure that you can move out at the same time.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's okay, that's fine.
So basically you just want to find out their settlement date because it's going to, if I haven't asked the agent and I could do 2 weeks and they want 4 months,
For sure.
Same thing. You got to get your most competitive offer there.
Yeah.
But from there as well as with your due diligence is what bloody price should. We said it's worth 400, but how do you come to that?
Well, look, I mean,
how do you
400.
You've looked at the house. What do you?
Well, and I threw out there as well because I wanted to give a scenario in the scenario without getting too inception on it. But like a lot of people do talk to their parents. We've notified, we've acknowledged. Sorry, I should say in the first episode that parents don't always necessarily give the same advice.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like a lot of buyers, first time, second, third, fourth, in the marketplace go, I just want to know what should I put down on the price.
Yeah.
So if it's for sale by negotiation, a lot of the time they're going to go to the real estate agent. They're going to say, what do they want for it?
Yeah.
And they will. They'll hear something around, they want the early to high to mid to this to this to this. Then they might do some of their own research as part of their due diligence. Talk to friends, talk to people. They look up, some stats or what have you, and they come in with a price. Great question? What's the best way to settle myself into a really nice, comfortable negotiation process from start to finish? What's the best way to identify what the price is and if I'm in the right position?
First of all, I just wouldn't even ask the agent at all. Because as soon as you ask the agent, they're going to confuse you. If they're a good agent, they're going to confuse you.
#real talk.
No, it's true though, because they're going to confuse you. So don't ask the agent. Don't ask for the agent to send sales stats because people can send whatever stats they want in terms of price ranges, how long ago. Yep. So don't ask the agent that as well. But it's very important to do your own research. Homes.co.nz.
Yeah.
Yeah, homes.co.nz, brilliant. You can get all the sales stats around. It's an easy actually tip for buyers. When I went and bought a few investment properties, what I did is I got 10 properties on a list that were quite similar to it that had sold within the 6 months.
Yeah.
And I drove past those houses and rated my house that I was trying to buy at a 5 out of 10.
Great tip.
And then the first on the list I drove past and went, well, that looks like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
That looks like a 3 out of 10. That looks like an 8 out of 10. That looks like a 10 out of 10. That 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then you rate them all, and then it's you high to low, and then you put your one in the middle. And you go, all right, well, that's sort of what other people will pay.
Absolutely.
I think people are scared about overpaying.
Yeah.
So if you can kind of see what other people pay,
they
gives
are.
me comfort.
They are. Everyone's scared of overpaying for a property.
So that gives me comfort to say, well, someone else.
Yeah.
Some other human down the road paid around about that price for that bloody place. So it's got to be around about that thing. Yeah. So that really helps there. So that's it. But you got to do your own research there.
Yeah.
You can pay for a valuer.
Some banks might want you to pay for a valuer as well, or a valuation.
You can pay for a valuer, but I think I've been in.
That's also getting down the line. That's after you've got it under offer. If you you could get it done
before.
Well.
If you're looking at some people say get a valuation before you buy it because you don't know what their price.
What's the value going to set you back though? You're looking at $450,
600, 650 probably these days. But it's hard for them to tell as well. They'll probably just do the 10 properties and rate them from there as well. Test
exactly.
So. So it's like trying to work out that price there. But then you've got your, say if you thought it was worth 400.
Yeah.
What are you going to pay for it?
That's right.
What's your first offer? What are you going to do?
So here's a tip that I would, well, maybe not a tip, but this is what I would do. So the first thing that I do is I'd go on Google and I would type in the street address and type in sales or sold or any kind of word that's going to get thrown around in terms of my search, and it'll come up with a list of the most recent sales, even if it's old properties on open to view because their website holds the properties, and I'd go through, I'd look at the interior of those properties, I'd do exactly what you said, and then it comes down to value, and it also comes down to knowing what my borrowing capacity is, because at this stage you're obviously talking about hopefully having a pre-approval. If you don't, you
so if you've got a pre-approval
idea in the
market, 450, it's worth 400, and what are you gonna?
You're putting me on the spot.
There's no right or wrong answer.
That's the thing. I don't know if there is a right or wrong answer.
No,
let's say I would come in at 370. I'd still come in at 370.
I reckon that's a good.
If 400 is the round number that we're looking at, I would come in at 370.
Okay. So I think there's two scenarios.
If I'm clean, because I'm cash, because I look good, because I'm cash, if that's what we're saying.
There's two scenarios. So say we're talking about a clean offer. You've gone down the path of going cash unconditional.
Yep.
There's no competition. Okay.
No.
So when you put your offer in at 370,000, the agent will then go back to all interested parties.
Yes.
And you either get yourself in a multiple offer situation.
Yes.
Or you won't.
Yes.
So I think the thing to think about is you put your offer in at 370.
Yeah.
And then you talk to someone else who you're buying the property with, or you're buying it with yourself, you just talk to yourself in your own head.
Do that every day. Every day.
And kind of think about your end price that you want to end up at.
Yes.
So if the agent does call you back and says, hey, look, there's another offer.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell you what it is. Don't ask. you got to think, okay, well, I'm prepared to pay X.
Okay.
Because I think if you start at 370, you do get this thing in your head, I'm going to buy it for 370. You get quite stubborn on that.
Well, you're setting those.
So be prepared to go to what you're prepared to pay.
Okay.
I think it's always good just to write that down.
So are you saying like when you go through the home, go and so you go through the house, an open house, the inspection, the proper inspection, whatever. When you go home, write down.
Well, you're about to you call the agent.
Yeah.
I want to make an offer. Write down without them. Don't show
without them knowing.
So,
yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to start at 370, but if there's a multiple offer, I'm going to go to 396. That's it.
And that's it. So
otherwise, emotion gets involved.
See, this is really, really good advice, because if you have that kind of top figure already like in your head, going with your head, you're not being ruled by your emotions because you've set that kind of limitation.
You know what's happening, so you've got a strategy. If this happens, I'll do this. If this happens, otherwise you kind of just it hurts your head.
As opposed to doing
overpaying, I'm not overpaying. Yeah.
As opposed to doing what Chip the buyer did, which was you asked me, okay, it's at 400, and I just went 370, but I didn't really have a limitation, did I? I was just like, because if he'd come back to me and said, well, they want 420, I might have gone over in terms of
because once you want it, you want it.
That's right.
So say the scenario though, you put 370 in.
Okay.
The agent says, hey, you're the only offer. Fantastic negotiation.
Yep. Okay, because there's no competition, is there? There's no competition.
So the agent delivers it, you're not there, they deliver the offer at 370.
Yeah.
The beauty of the cash unconditional offer is if you own the house and I deliver it to you, 370 cash.
Taking your offer.
Okay, Chip.
Yes.
If you sign this, your house is sold. Okay, it's not if you sign this, it may be sold in 5 days or maybe sold in 10 days. It's that element of maybiness.
Yes.
Maybiness, great word.
Yes.
But
maybiness.
But if you're cash, it's very hard for them to go countersign it. So you do have a chance of sometimes people love certainty and they will sell their house cheaper for certainty. And I've had people just talking in real estate agent capacity for a second, sell their house $20,000 or $30,000 cheaper on a high scale in terms of price. To get cash unconditional because they know it's certainty.
But for sure.
So that's very important. So say in the situation though that it's 370,000, they want 400. They're not. They're probably not going to sell it to you.
Why are they not selling it to me?
They're not selling it to you. They want 400.
Well, just like when I thought it was a reasonable opening offer. I thought 370 was.
It's 400. It's just like a car. So it's worth 4,000. The owner probably wants 5,000. You want it for 3,000. Get over it. It's life. So what happens from there?
Push on.
As you go 370, the agent's going to talk to them. They probably want 420. You're probably going to get a countersign. Okay, so by countersign, they cross your price out.
So when we talk about, please do. Talk to me about a countersign. What happens when I countersign?
No, I don't want to take that price. It's not good for me. They cross out the 370 and they might 410.
Okay. Yep.
Most of the time they'll leave a little buffer for negotiating as well.
Exactly.
Okay, so they probably don't want 410, they might want 400.
Yeah.
The value of the home for 410.
Yep.
They bring it back. It creates a bit of negotiation there as well.
Yep.
I think the main thing though when you're negotiating is not going in too low and insulting people.
This is a great tip because a lot of the times in the industry, what do we hear about the first offer? And it's like, oh, well, hey, you're at 400 and here's Chip, he's coming at 370, 360.
If you go on
is that insulting? Is that insulting to the vendors?
360, 370?
On a 400? Or
within 10% is fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you go in at 320,
they're
just going to go, oh, get out of this guy's a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
And they throw the offer out and you get back and they go, rejected
so be
your offer.
serious.
Getting serious, you want to buy it cheaper, but obviously you want to get in that space where they go, well, he is serious about buying this.
Well, not cheaper, add value. You want to buy it, and like you said before, you don't want to, cheaper, you don't want to overpay for the property.
Hey, well, we're talking about buying. Everyone wants to buy a house cheaper.
Absolutely.
Talking about reality here.
Hey,
we can beat around the bush and say
well.
that people don't want to buy houses cheap. I've never met a buyer who doesn't want to buy a house cheap. If someone comes in and goes, hey, I want to buy a house, I want to buy it real expensive. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I also appreciate what you're saying is like there's buying a house cheap and then there's just being rude.
Yeah, like you don't want to be rude, when you put your offer in, do you?
No, well that's the thing. There's being low and then there's just being rude. And I think the other thing about it as well is that you don't want to set the tune early on to be something kind of like taken as a negative from the agent and the vendor. Because at the end of the day, if someone's told you something, I mean, take that into consideration, but don't use that to just be like, oh well, I want to go here because Dad told me to do so.
Yeah, and if the owner doesn't like you at the start, they're not going to negotiate.
How do you think how do you think the energy of that negotiation is going to go? Because then the agent's going to come back to you and say, oh, hey, fantastic, we presented your offer because you said we had to at that very, 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 very rude situation or level, and the owners come back with this, and most of the time it's going to be probably something like they didn't even countersign or something like that.
Yeah. So I suppose from there you'll probably get your countersigns. Mm-hmm. Get your countersigns. They countersign at 410. You go.
Countersigning does not mean you've bought the property. Countersigning means that you are now in negotiation.
They've accepted all your terms and conditions, including your conditions, your settlement date, whatever else you got down there. Yeah. But then you're just negotiating price. So they say, hey, look, we love your terms and conditions, Chip, but we want to sell for 410. Yep. You come back, you might add 10. They go down 10 to 400. Then
this is called closing the gap.
488, go 492, and we're at 490, and we get a deal.
And you're doing that within the limitation that you'd set yourself before, because as you said, you've written down where you are and where that goal is, that end goal is.
Have a little bit of a game with it. You got your goal of 492. I want to buy this for 492. How much do I have to go, and how much do I have left? Always give something as well in a negotiation. So if they're asking for a price rise of $20,000, okay, and your price can only go up $2,000 to get to your max, okay, give them $1,000. Don't say no. As soon as you say no to someone, they go, well, they're not budging. Okay. And then again, always give them something just to go back on. It's good faith to negotiate. It's a common thing for thousands of years. Good faith to negotiate and give someone something a little bit back, and you'll continue the negotiations.
And before I give my tip, if we could, I think are you out or are you?
Yeah, I'm nearly out.
Yeah. No, and what I was going to say as well is keep optimistic with your negotiations and be positive, because the thing is that if you are using a real estate agent, and they're in the middle and they're going back and forth like the little tennis ball, it's not going to be, because you're talking about energy from one cycle to the other, from purchaser you to vendor. So if you're doing it with, oh, that's great, thanks for the countersign, we're going to think about it or whatever, but just keep positive about it. Because the moment, from either side, you start actually going, I suppose get a bit disgruntled about it, you're really going to kill that energy.
You don't want to be that guy. I suppose you bring up a good tip there as well for real estate agents, is we do really like polite and nice people, because we're just doing our job. Hey, this is just from my heart. If I get a purchaser who's actually really, really genuinely nice and the negotiator, I could see good faith, and they're just being a little bit honest with me in terms of what they're trying to do, they're trying to get a bit of a cheap price, they're negotiating, we actually work harder for them.
Absolutely.
No, I work hard for all my clients, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, no one in any industry on earth likes getting treated like a piece of shit.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So it goes a long way as well, as actually just treating people as, hey, there is some real estate agents around as well who don't treat people well either. So it goes both ways.
No, absolutely.
But at the same time, treat the agent nice. If they treat you nice too, you can form a relationship, and they'll probably help you get that deal together.
And look, I really believe that the best form of negotiation is honesty. And I think the thing is that if you take away everyone trying to play the tricks to get a really good deal together where both the seller and the buyer are happy, that comes down to, like you said, just some politeness and communication. And if you're angry about something, that's fine, but communicate it in a way where you're...
You don't be angry, you just got to be honest about it.
For sure.
And I suppose after saying all that, though, as well, you got to be very, very careful with the real estate agent, because as we know, Chip, we're real estate agents, we do work for the owner, so we're going to try to get a better price.
Always working for the client.
So every time I negotiate, I'm never going to help the purchaser get a good price.
For sure.
But at the same time, if they're really, really nice, we're going to try and negotiate with everyone, and it's going to be a much better negotiation process.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing on that, though, is that whilst at the time, as a purchaser, you might think, oh, this agent, he's just working for the client. When you buy that property, if that agent's good enough, one day he might be working for you. And guess what? Like you said, you're going to be working for that person. You're going to be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And so, at the end of the day, that's what we do. But I most of the deals that I do these days, they come together with good communication. And like you said before, it's about knowing your research, and ask questions if you have to ask questions. Don't be preloaded too much by, all of the other stuff that goes on in the media. And go in there with a nice, realistic kind of opening offer. And just keep the optimism and be energetic.
So I suppose by all of that rant, just being treated badly by a few people in real estate, that obviously sparked that off, didn't it, for us, Chip?
Yeah.
But anyway, we get our offers.
Did you open me a beer?
No, sorry, mate.
Oh,
we get our offers.
This topic, isn't it?
We get our offers together at $392,000.
So we started at 370. We got a counter sign at 410. We're going back and forth. We're at 392.
Congratulations.
Oh, mate.
You got it.
Yeah. Do you like what I did there?
Yeah. That was weird. So you got that. Sky knows.
Yeah, I'm there. 392.
Yeah. So you got it at 392. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so it's all done. You wait for settlement. You get.
It's like the 12th property I bought on the show.
But I suppose one thing, because it's basically the same thing for sale by negotiation, price, BEO, POA.
Yep.
whatever else you want to call it.
Yeah.
Deadlines.
Yeah.
Open tenders. But
quite similar.
Yep, exactly similar. But I suppose the only difference is auctions. You being an auctioneer, Chip.
Yeah.
You know, you are an auctioneer. You're a great auctioneer.
Thank you very much.
I suppose we
It's
could.
the nicest thing you've said to me today.
Yeah, probably. Not that big on compliments for you. Hey, we could probably shed a bit of light on what's the difference buying an auction. So the auction process, like we said before, you got to do all your conditions prior.
Yeah.
So you've done your building report, your limb report, your finance, all that kind of stuff. You're preparing to put an offer in.
Yeah.
You obviously have to turn up at the auction. You can put an offer in prior at auction.
Yeah.
Maybe let's not get into the actual putting in the offer prior, but
no,
talk to your agent about that. But so let's just talk about
same rules. Yeah,
let's just talk about auction day.
Yeah.
Turn up at auction day.
Yeah.
What do you do? You're the auctioneer.
I think a lot of the feedback I get in this in our marketplace down here and in New Zealand as well from the sellers being more nervous. Like they I don't want to auction it because it's such a big public display, and I think it's much harder on the day for the buyers, because you're walking into an environment, you're not in control because the auctioneer is in control.
It is scary
a lot of the time, and it's scary, and you're going to be nervous. So
I bought from an auction once. I was scared.
How did that go for you?
I was scared.
Were you scared? Were you a bit? Was it your first time?
No. Third investment.
So as an investment, and you went to the auction?
Yeah, I was scared. Mate, called a lot of auctions with you. We do auctions about once a week.
Yeah.
So I've been to many auctions. I run a lot of auction campaigns. Put me in there buying my first one. I was just...
Yeah, for sure.
I felt like I was going to die.
Yeah, because the heart's there, because it's transparent. It's the transparency as well. But it's an emotional process, because on the day, as you said very early on in this topical topic, you said that with the auction process, it's cash unconditional on the day. So you are writing that check.
It's crazy.
The night before, you might be having a discussion with your partner, and you're saying, "Well, the agent's just called me and said they've set the reserve," and and then you've got to start thinking, as you said before,
you do.
about what that figure is that you're going to go to, and you might know you've got 20 grand over that.
It is an emotional experience, I suppose. What, for a tip?
Yes.
I think because I bought an auction, I've been to many an auction. It's very
Very
good. Just like we talked about before with the other processes around negotiation, just have that top dollar rate. So say if it's $3.92.
I think it's really important.
$3.92, because people get so caught up in, do I open? Is it on the market? Do I not?
Yeah.
All these kind of...
How do you open?
At the end of the day, though, we will put this out there as well. There is a lot to auctions. If you're very, very good at auctions, you can do a lot there. But at the end of that, if you're buying your first home or your second investment, just go $3.92, and they go opening bid. Just go, $200,000.
Absolutely.
Open it up.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to bid.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't bid against yourself would be a great piece of advice.
Don't bid unless you're the only one in the. I have done an auction when I've only had one.
But you're an auctioneer, so let's take ourselves out of the real estate agent zone. Don't bid against yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're the only person bidding, the auctioneer's bidding back, you probably just want to negotiate back with the owner after the auction. Yeah. But just have fun with it. But because how many times have we seen this as well? They go $3.92. That's what they've said to themselves. I haven't written it down.
Yeah.
Write it down. Put it in your pocket.
Have it in your pocket. Have it on you. Yeah.
How many times have we seen this? $3.90, $3.95, $4.10, $4.02. They're talking to the partner. $4.03, $4.04, $4.05. Our job's obviously get better money, so you go another $500, another $500, another $500. And they say to us at the end, we only wanted to go $3.90. We bought it for $437,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is a dangerous place to buy. But you can pick up good buys if you're smart about it and you got your top dollar.
Absolutely. Well, and I think every property is different, and it comes down to if it's being sold by a different method of sale. And we touched on that earlier on as well. But I think what I'm getting out of this episode, which I think is really important across all those mediums, and especially for auction, because as an auctioneer, I see it time and time again where the difference between getting a deal together, not just for the buyer, but for our sellers as well, because we always work in the best interest of our sellers, and those buyers one day will become sellers. But the difference between that is a realistic view of what the marketplace is. Now, you said it before, on the buying side, do your research.
Yeah.
So do that research, go out there and do the Google searches, or, pay $20 to get a QV report or whatever it is. But when you've got that research done, you've written that figure and you're in the room and you know what that figure is.
It's a hard job.
Because it is. Because otherwise what you're dealing with is a completely different emotional cycle, which is I want it more than this guy. And you, like you said before, you might have paid $47,000 more than what your top dollar was, and you've basically done that on greed.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But hey, look, we don't need to get too busy into that.
Just bringing up another point here on a bit of a random note, because obviously we're in the real estate industry, seeing you call a lot of auctions. Have a bit of patience with the auctioneer as well, because It's quite funny. I don't know. When I was 14 and I did a little speech at school, I was sort of shitting my pants.
It
was quite hard to stand in front of an audience.
But
sometimes you don't actually realise how hard it is.
Yeah.
I think for someone to stand up the front and control someone's asset and do maths at the same time and actually be prepared to do that. So sometimes as well, people go, they didn't take my bid. Just ask them. Just say, sir, did you get my bid? Did you ask this? Did you do this? Because there's a lot of, probably standing up for you here as an auctioneer. There is a lot of angst against auctioneers because they're meant to be absolutely perfect, because we do realise that we're selling a big asset. But at the same time, it's a high pressure situation. Absolutely. You've got maybe 10 groups of people that everyone's going... bloody beating out their chest, and you're expected to count bids, cut bids, know where the bid is, if there's a vendor bid. Great fun though. But at the same time, it's like anything as well, is that person being the auctioneer is a human, so be nice to them too, because they might be the one negotiating with you soon. But on that note, bloody good episode. Loved episode 7. One more to go.
I didn't say it was episode 6 at the start.
You did, but it's episode 7. 6, so we're hoping that Double Brown.
I just want to, just before we close off today, and I did like your comments on, be nice to the auctioneer, because it is quite hard dealing with people's emotions, their money, and of course their overall goals that they want to achieve in life. But hey, you get that on the big jobs. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to Baylands Brewery, the Petone Pale Ale. Wonderful drop. Last week though, you gave a big shout out to a brewery, a beer that is
don't make me buy a
held a lot in our hearts as adolescents.
The Dobros, the Double Browns.
That's what we're talking about. So, have you heard back from?
I don't know. How many beer brands have we had step up to the plate and give us beer so far?
We have had 6 out of 7 shows, I believe, or 5 out of 7 now, that have sponsored the show. We're putting it out there. Double Brown.
And every brand we've had a shout out to.
And it's the last episode.
Parrot Dog last week?
Parrot Dog was the...
last week. They got their tag in there.
The P-Dogs.
We tagged them in there. And then all of a sudden the Parrot Dogs, bloody good service. They care about the people.
Oh, their sales have gone through the roof.
Absolutely. I don't know if they know that we have 878 followers.
828. But
all I ask for is that we just ask for a little bit of respect from Double Brown.
Look, I think the Double is going to come. I think they're going to come to the party.
I spent $1,000 on Double Browns for my 21st, and that was about all the goddamn money I had.
You spent $1,000 on Double Brown
for 1,000 Double
21st.
Browns. 1,000 Double Browns.
Wow,
that's all the money I had.
That's crazy.
I kind of wish I had bought Baylands now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they probably weren't around back then because that was.
All would be forgiven.
Years ago.
All would be forgiven, Double Brown, if you just hooked us up, please.
Just with just an 18 plus 6 free 24 pack.
Just a 6-pack. Don't even do 6
I don't think they do a 6-pack.
All right, 12 for.
I'll tell you this though, if
God's nectar,
if we don't get Double Brown to come to the last episode of the Friday Shout,
no, I reckon I'm going to have to go to my favourite 21-year-old beer, which is Tasman Bitter.
Tasman.
I bet the director there is an absolute GC. I bet he's the man.
I know. What was Waikato Bitter?
Waikato Draft, mate.
Was it draft?
Yeah, you've really...
They sponsored the Warriors. Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, Tasman Bitter. Real quick, though.
Yeah, go for it.
Tasman Bitter. I bet if I just tagged them in one post, they would...
Debbie Bitter. Yeah, thank you.
Debbie Bitter. Debbie Breweries, same thing as Double Brown, so bugger that. Hey, we'll go Tasman Bitter.
The Tassie.
That'll hook us up. One tag. Anyway, you go. Sorry.
I was just going to say, if we don't do Tasman, Taranaki Ale...
You don't drink enough beer, mate.
I don't drink enough beer.
All right. Well, here's to episode 7. Bloody good.
Fantastic. Last episode coming up of the Friday Shout. 2 weeks ago. We're going to do a Christmas special as well, so keep a good watch on that.
2 weeks and Christmas.
Double Brown will be sponsoring us. We're going to check it out. Just to summarise, hey guys, if you're out there, cash offers are good. Do your research. Do your due diligence. Be nice to real estate agents. Be nice to auctioneers, and you will be able to buy a property quicker than what you have done in the past. Rupert Kemeys, I'd like to thank you as always. I'd like to thank our fantastic producer and of course Matt Lamb for being live in the studio with us. Until next time, never a chore and always a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Cheers, mate.